Unless you've been living under a rock, you know that right now, all of the media headlines, everything in the news around the world, and especially in cheer, is talking about one thing, and that is the coronavirus. There have been events all over the world that have been canceled. There are flights that have been grounded. There are people that are quarantined, and it's truly looking like a global epidemic, pandemic, a gigantic issue. And the truth of the matter is, it's really not that serious. The coronavirus is something that the media has taken and has blown way out of proportion. And I know there are going to be people that watch this that are going to get triggered. They're going to argue. They're going to, everybody has an opinion on this thing. And I'm here to try to be a little bit of voice of reason for those that either don't know what's going on, are scared out of their mind, or that don't know what to do. So the coronavirus is not as serious as the media is portraying it to be. And that's not just my opinion. That's also the opinion of other people, especially of highly trained people that, their job is to disseminate information about diseases. So, for instance, this video has also come out recently.
So, Dr. Drew, are we overreacting?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I'm hearing this from doctors left and right.
Yes, and we are not overreacting. The press is overreacting, and it makes me furious. The press should not be reporting medical stories as though they know how to report it. If we have a pandemic, I won't know how to tell that we're actually having a pandemic because everything is an emergency. People that are infectious disease specialists, the CDC, the epidemiologists, need to take this very seriously. The press needs to shut up because you're more likely to die of influenza right now.
That's what doctors are saying.
However, and I'm not trying to go against you, but I have a question. It is now beat SARS in terms of fatalities, 362, and they're saying
but its fatality rate is still lower.
But they're saying it spreads fast.
It's a mild illness. It spreads all over the place, and it's only out of these 17,000 documented infected. I bet there's hundreds of thousands of cases, 300 deaths.
Okay.
And always in immunocompromised people, always in people that are at risk for these sorts of things if they get a severe viral respiratory infection, whether it's flu or corona or whatever. All of these can hurt people who are compromised. They can. The rest of us need to wash our hands carefully, get our influenza vaccines, listen to the CDC. If there's a problem, they will let us know.
The CDC made it very clear that 5,000 people just in the last 2 weeks have died from the flu here in America alone.
Why are we panicked about that? Three people died on the streets of Los Angeles this morning from homelessness. Why, if that were coronavirus, people would freak the hell out.
You're right.
Why aren't we putting our priorities in the right place? It's the press. The press does not know how to report on medical issues. It's where I first learned about fake news.
Should we have consulted?
So as you can see, Dr. Drew on the news talking about the media's portrayal of medical issues and how skewed these viewpoints can become very, very quickly. As of now, the mortality rate for the coronavirus is extremely low. The presentation of the coronavirus versus influenza is very similar, but more people are dying from flu than they are from coronavirus. I have a patient whose mother is a research biologist, and she spent a majority of her career studying viruses. She was a virologist. That's her whole MO, was studying viruses. And when this stuff started kind of breaking, going crazy, I actually saw her, and I just straight asked her, are we freaking out over nothing, or is this something super serious? And without hesitation, she got a giant smile on her face and said, it is all media hype. Now, just like any infectious respiratory condition, there are going to be parts of the population that are going to be affected. People that are immunocompromised, older people, younger people, infants, people that have diseases that affect their immune system. Like, sure, they're going to be at a higher risk for infection for corona, but they're also at a higher risk for flu. They're at a higher risk for TB. They're at a higher risk for everything, because their immune system is not as strong. Now, that doesn't mean that the coronavirus is this, this new, mysterious disease that's, that's running rampant through the public. It's a respiratory virus, very similar to the flu. But one of the reasons why people freak out, when I asked her, why are people freaking out about this? And her response to me was, there's a flu vaccine that people get routinely. There's not a vaccine for coronavirus that people get routinely. And so there becomes this fear of, we don't have a vaccination for it, so therefore it's going to run rampant. It's going to do, all this damage. But then in the same conversation, she said, even though we have flu vaccines, how many people die a year that got the flu vaccination? And so it's purely the fact that we have one that people, are less concerned for the flu than they are corona. It's the fact that we don't have one that's regularly used, and that creates that existence of fear. The other thing that creates existence of fear is, again, the media that is telling you to be scared. And because of that, you've got gigantic events like the Arnold Fit Expo. It's the largest exercise and fitness expo in the world, as in Columbus, Ohio. It was canceled. This is like vendors and like thousands and thousands of people, and the expo was canceled. They're talking about canceling the Olympics, the 2020 Olympics. There's just so much, paranoia going on with this thing. It's truly kind of overtaking everything. Now, how does that apply to us? Well, our gyms are little microcosms or little worlds in our communities. And so, there's been discussions of, is Worlds going to get canceled? Is Summit going to get canceled? Is D2 Summit going to get canceled? There's all these question marks. And, there's a comp coming up in California they're talking about. Is that going to get canceled? So I wanted to address this with you guys because as a community, we need to be educated on what the best steps are. And the best steps are, number one, not freak out and start, getting so worked up that, the gym starts to be affected. The recommendations come from the CDC, right? Wash your hands. Although it shouldn't take a virus that's, everybody's freaked out about to get you to wash your hands, but apparently that is now, just wash your hands. And washing your hands is sanitation. Just as a tangent, sanitation is the number one thing. If you look back through history, the number one thing that has helped us with major diseases, plagues, things like this, the number one thing that has changed history is not vaccinations. Yes, those are very helpful, and they've done an amazing job, but they're not the number one. The number one thing is sanitation, just cleanliness. You'd be amazed how many diseases through history were all but eradicated because we started to clean. We clean our hands when we touch dirty things. We sanitize things when they're dirty. Like, just cleaning, number one, is a fantastic step to help protect yourself from coronavirus. Number two is cleaning the area that you're in, making sure that we're keeping areas clean and not filthy, especially with high traffic. So just being clean in your environment. And number three is avoid touching your face or touching your mouth, touching other people's face. Just kind of, personal space, and not touching all over your face. Excuse me. No, that's not coronavirus. So just basic sanitation is a extremely effective tool at keeping yourself protected from coronavirus. And even if you do come in contact with coronavirus, yes, there are recommendations from the CDC, follow those. If you have to be, quarantined, follow those things, but, follow those recommendations. But what I want to eliminate is this fear-mongering that is going on where people are so concerned about public health. And the truth of the matter is there should be no more concern for this than there was for the flu. In a day, as Dr. Drew said, there's thousands of people die from the flu in a day. And we write it off as there's a lot of people that get the flu, so a lot of people are going to die. A lot of people are going to get coronavirus, and they're fine. There's been a gigantic number of people that have gotten the coronavirus have also gone through. They're fine now. They're done, and they're back in living their lives. So I just want to dispel any of these myths that it's this this zombie virus that's tearing through communities and is going to be this world-ending problem, when the truth of the matter is it's no worse than any other respiratory virus. And instead of listening to media on ABC or NBC or Fox or CNN, listen to the CDC, the World Health Organization, people that are experts in this matter. Listen to these people, take their recommendations, and stop getting your information from Karen on Facebook, right? let's be smart about this and make sure that we're getting our recommendations from people who are experts in that field, so that we can stop the fear mongering and we can stop the paranoia and make logical decisions for what's best for us and what's best for our gym, what's best for our family, what's best for our kids, what's best for ourselves. So that being said, stay clean, wash your hands, clean the area around you, don't touch people's faces, and stop stressing about coronavirus. I promise you, you are going to be fine. Hey guys, if you like this episode, give me a thumbs up below, leave your comments below. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people that watch this that are gonna be triggered about my opinions and honestly about the facts of coronavirus. If you are triggered, awesome, give me a thumbs down and tell me why you're angry. But if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and if you would like more videos like it, click the link above. And as always, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, click this link here, and don't forget to hit the bell for notifications so that you stay up to date on our videos and you can debate about other trending topics in cheer and healthcare altogether. We'll catch you on the next episode.